All right. Well, thank you so much for letting me come and talk about Homebot, because Homebot is something that I'm very passionate about, because I talk to agents and brokers all the time who say they really do close a lot of business with Homebot. And that makes me feel good that the product that I'm working with is actually working. And they actually tell me they close business within 3 or 4 weeks. So it's not months, it's just a few weeks, and they actually get a new listing. So it's a great way to get new listings, stay in contact with your clients, show the value that's in their home, but most likely, really, it's the equity that's in their home, because that's what makes them realize, wow, I've got all this equity, I need to, list my home. Now, I don't know where they're going to go right now with the industry the way it is, but it does let them see the value that's in their home. So I want to share my screen. Oh, and by the way, I work for Black Knight, and I've been with Black Knight for about 3 years, but I've been in the real estate services industries, well, the industry for 25, 30 years. So I've done print mail, I've done, Moxie Works, I've done Quantum Digital, I've done Merrill Corporation. So I just know the great services that are offered, and Homebot just happens to be a really great service. So I am wanting to show you my screen. Hopefully you can see it now. Do you see my screen?
Yes, we do.
Awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by showing you what the Homebot report looks like. And this report actually does get emailed out automatically to your clients once every 30 days. So once a month, this goes out to your clients, and it's automatic. You don't have to worry about it once you add a client to the system. When you do sign up a client, as I said, this goes out in the form of an email, and it comes from your name, so they most likely will open it. And we do see a great open rate. It's about 65% on average. But most agents I talk to tell me it's more like 85%, because you're sending it to your past clients who know your name. They want to know what's going on with their home. So they do open it. And they don't really unsubscribe. We have a less than a 2% on average unsubscribe rate. So it's a great tool to send out, staying in contact with your clients. And again, it's not just showing the value of the home, but it's showing the equity, because that's what it's all about. How much wealth do you have? And when we do ask for a client to be added to your Homebot account, it's only their name, their email address, and their home address. We get all the rest of the data for you. So it's really easy to get a client added, and you can do it one at a time, or send me a spreadsheet and we'll get them all added all at once. And, like I said, people are closing business with Homebot, and really it's in an inexpensive program. So because you've been introduced by Becca, because you've got that relationship, you guys get a discount. So it's only $22.50 to upload 500 clients or customers. And there's no contract. We waive the sign-up fee, and you do not need to have a lender for the account. So it's a great way to try it out for a couple of months at $22.50 a piece, or just $22.50 a month. And if you don't really like it, you can cancel. Just let me know. We'll cancel your account. Most people don't, because they like it, but I will show you how the program works, and then you can try it out. So this is the email. Up here in the right-hand corner, there's your logo. And then up here at the top is where all of your clients' homes are located. So this client, this is their primary home, but I added their parents' home, or I added their children's home, or I added their vacation home. They can add homes themselves as well. So you can either add, additional homes to your client, or they can do it themselves. So it's really easy for them to do that. Maybe there's a home down the street they're interested in buying as well, so they can add that themselves. But we always want to poise you as the expert. We don't want them going to Zillow or Redfin to find out the value of a home. We want you to be able to do your CMA and fine tune that price of the home, the value of the home. Now, we do pull this data from Black Knight, and we do score pretty well when we get audited to see if we're pretty close to the right market value. Ours comes from the tax records, and then we add some algorithm to the number. And like I said, we do score really well, but we really want to challenge your client. We really want them to say, gosh, that's not what my home is worth. Maybe it's $900,000. We want them to tune the value. And when they do that, of course, we're going to capture the activity. We're going to capture these little, whenever they click anywhere on the system. So when they click on it and they can say, you know what, I think my home is really worth $825. I remodeled my kitchen. So when they hit continue, we'll ask them why they think it's $825. And then we'll send you a text and an email. They even did that. So now you know that your client modified their home value, and really the home really is worth 790 or 8, whatever it was, at 825. And we'll send you a text and an email with a note saying it's probably a good time to schedule a CMA. When you do your CMA, you can go to the dashboard, which I'll show you in a moment, and you can override that price even more. And when you do it yourself, when you override the price, this is what'll come up. This is your profile picture. And then of course it'll say in June of 2021, I made it 800,000. So it gives them the reassurance that you went and did a CMA and you thought it was worth 800. Now we do show you in the background, we have mortgage information, and all these different areas that you see in blue, we want your client to update or add a mortgage or whatever it is. Your client might have paid down their mortgage, and we don't know that. So let them update the data. We really want to get to the net worth. So we need to have as close as possible, the net worth, the worth of the home and the current mortgage. All the rest of the report is based on this information right here. Now, this is a really key feature. So we let them know what's going on in their zip code, and this is a very important part of the system. Clients really like this area. So when they take a look, we let them know what's going on in their zip code. In this case, the zip code is in high demand and picking up quickly. There's 5 condos in the area selling about 13 days. And then there's information about the home. They're in a moderate appreciation, good cash position, and the market's in demand. When they scroll down, you're going to see these pink circles. Every time you see a pink circle, these are questions that your client can ask you. When they click this, you'll get a text and an email that they asked this question. Of course, they can also reach out to you this way as well. But they can also open up this area, more details. So we've got moderate appreciation. When they open this up, we let them know it's, their home is appreciated 2.7% year over year. They're in good cash position. This one's fun. So they can modify this. If you sold your home for $860,000, you'll probably pay about $60,000 in fees and net around $465,000 in cash. Maybe they're going to downsize. Maybe they're going to put a 30% down payment. So we're letting them know what that scenario might look like for them. And of course, they can ask you a question. Markets in demand. This is what the current nearby sales are looking like around their home, and more questions they can ask you. So they just like to play with the scenario, and we want to give them lots of ways to do that because we want to capture all of these clicks on this page. So in the activity in the dashboard, when I show you, you'll see that we know everything they do on this report. And then we do have right here, how is this calculated? We always tell your client how we get the data so they can find it very easy to read, easy to understand. And because we're pulling all this data from your clients, your client's going to have different, what's important now. Some will have a suggestion maybe to refinance because they're paying a little bit too high of interest. They've got a lot of equity in this example. So we're saying, gosh, you could buy a new home or put together some money for an emergency. And when they click on one of these, we'll give them more suggestions, but they're also further down the report too. We always tell them the good things are in green, negative in red. And then the next question we ask them is, how many more years do you think you'll keep your home? We start at 10 years, but they can modify this. Maybe they're going to be in their home 2 more years. So we're letting them know what it looks like if they wanted to refinance. Now, we are bringing in Freddie's information. So the government rates are in here, updated every morning. So you see here, a 15-year fixed loan doesn't make sense because the payment might go up significantly. That's why that's a red X. These 2 are risky. Then, of course, when they see more options, you've got a 25 or 30-year fixed loan, and this one's going to save them $34 a month. This one might save them over $200. So they might be interested. So when you do sign up for Homebot, as I mentioned, it's only $22.50 for 500 clients. There's no contract. It's a month-to-month program. We waive the sign-up fee, and you do not need a title. An LO. So when I click here, you're going to see a lender. That doesn't mean you have to have it. That just means I have one on mine. But this is going to drive them to additional questions. And then, of course, they can reach out to you right here. All right. All right. Come on, mouse. All right. So that's the refinancing area. And then here they can just play with this little tool. If they had an extra $200 a month, can they save on their, save interest and pay it off early? They can. And they just like to play with this. All the numbers will change. And then we're showing them their purchasing power. This example has a lot of equity. So can they buy a new home? Absolutely. Can they buy some investment property? Of course. When they click on more details, we give them a scenario. Maybe take some of your equity out and use it as a down payment on an investment home. So we're giving them suggestions of what their monthly payment might look like. And when they're ready, they just come down here, ask you a question, or they can reach out and start that search. And then we tell them more things about what they can do with their equity. What else can they do? Well, everything's in green is good. Splurge on a European vacation, totally in red. We tell them not to do that and go to one of the other options that make more sense. And then we do have a making home improvements area that's in orange. So when they hit details, we just let them know some things to consider when they're making home improvements. And you know that you don't recoup a dollar for dollar. You recoup 50 cents on the dollar when you remodel. And when you scroll down, we do bring in, we're getting to the end of the report. So this is Airbnb information coming up. And we do let them know what it looks like in their area. And right now it's $134 a night, but if they've got a fancier home, they could change this. Maybe they are going away for 9 days next month. They can make some extra cash. But when they click here, we want to keep you involved in that transaction. Maybe you want to help them write the lease agreement or send them to your property management team. But we do send them straight to Airbnb if they want to do that. And then we end the report with a referral. So a lot of your clients will actually want to share this Homebot system with their family and their friends and even their neighbors. So what they can do is they share Homebot. You get a landing page, and so they're sharing your landing page right here on their Facebook page, on their LinkedIn page, or to say, send it to someone directly. So you will get referrals. I'm very confident in that. I hear it all the time. People get referrals. And of course, we end with your information at the bottom, and this is where they can unsubscribe. And this is your logo and your office information. So that's the Homebot report. And again, it goes out the door every month. If you add someone today, it's about the 28th of every month that it'll go out the door. Are there any questions before I move to the dashboard? Feel free to type them in the section up here. Or
what if we want more than 500?
Then we just add $10 for every 500. Just make sure you take in that 10% discount. So for 1,000, it's $31.50. And you don't have to do it right away. You can start with 500, and then when you added 500, maybe you get to another 100 or 200 lists, send it over to us, and we'll say, oh, it's probably time that you upgrade to the 1,000 level. We're not going to stop you and hold you ransom. We're not going to, upload that list until you upgrade your account.
Hi, Debbie. I'm one of the preferred lenders. And I wanted to find out, are you going to go over like the benefits if I were to sign up as a lender and what that does for the agents as well?
Sure, absolutely, I can. So if you noticed on that report that I was just showing you guys, every area where your client needs to get a lender involved, that lender is going to be there. So the lender's information will be there to handle all the refinancing questions and the equity questions. So that's always, sometimes that's a blessing. You don't want to deal with the refinancing. You want to deal with the next sale. So the lender's always there. They will get that call or that email first, but you will get notified that your client did reach out to your lender. But what it also does, it opens up the buyer functionality of Homebot. So I will show you that here. So I have a lender, as you noticed. So I actually now have the buyer functionality on my system. You don't get that unless you have a lender. And I'll show you how that works. For instance, when that area where it talked about, maybe I want to get an investment home and you want to start purchasing. Well, right there it said, you want to start your search? And you could actually, me as a client, I could have set myself up as a buyer immediately at that point because I have a lender on my account. If you didn't, they would just have to reach out to you and you could work with them, yourself. But I'll show you the buyer report too before we end the webinar. That was a good question. Thank you. So this is your dashboard. This is where you're going to start seeing all that activity. So once you set up your Homebot account, the very first thing you would do, of course, is get up here to account, set up your profile. That's pretty important. Set up your profile the way you want it to read. And then digest settings. This is also important. So every one of your clients are going to get a welcome email from you first. And it's right here. When you look at this, it says, this is the welcome letter that my clients are going to get from me. So we have default messaging already there, but you're more than welcome. And we encourage you to customize this. We want it to look like you wrote it just for them. So use your lingo, use the way you sign off on emails, just change it however you need to, and then hit save changes. Change the subject line, send yourself a test email, whatever you think. And then of course, as soon as you add a client, this goes out the door first, and then their Homebot report will go out the door.
I'm sorry, on the Airbnb and those kind of things, can we take those out? Because like our area, they can't do Airbnb.
That's fine. So a lot of the areas you cannot take out, but Airbnb is one that you can. So if you don't want Airbnb, you'll have to get in touch with my support team and just say, I need you to hide the Airbnb information. And we can get you all set up. I mean, you can always work with me and I can get that set up for you. Absolutely. You can't hide too many things, but that's one you can hide. All right, so once you get your profile set up and your welcome email, then you're ready to start adding clients. And you can do it manually yourself right here. Add a client one by one, first, last name, email address, and their home address. Now, if you have a spouse right there that has a different email address, you can always add it here as well. And then say next, save. So basically you can add them one at a time, very easy here. Or just send me a spreadsheet of all your past clients or whoever you want to add, and I'll add them for you. It's easy to do it in a bulk upload versus doing one at a time. And then the reason I think it's great that you do that is you want to see immediate activity. So right here, my last month, 30-day performance, I've sent out 428 reports, 265 have opened. That's a 61% open rate. But right here, Rick Ellis just looked at his Homebot report 21 minutes ago. And this is literally up to date as of the 2nd. So right here, you can see Rick opened it up 21 minutes ago. Aaron looked at hers 43 minutes ago. You've got 3 hours ago. You've got Steve looked at his market. You've got all kinds of stuff. Steve just added a home a day ago. So you can see this information. And on the right side is what they've done over the last 30 days. We don't delete data. So you've got pages and pages of information to see. Like Phil sent me a couple messages a couple weeks ago, and he tuned his value. So he's done a lot of activity. So Phil might be really ready to list his home. He's looked at his information 12 times over the last 30 days. And those are the things you need to watch for, because if you see him opening the report all the time, you might want to give him a call. He's probably your next client. So just look at that information, see who you want to contact. And if you want to know more about Phil or anybody else here, you can click on their name here to see the detail. Or I'll just kill two birds with one stone. Go up here to the homeowners. And this is where all of your homeowners are. And they're in here alphabetically, but you can always sort it different ways. And then, so for instance, if I wanted to pull up somebody, maybe I do want to pull up Phil. I don't maybe remember his last name, but here I put in Phil. They all pop up. He happens to have 3 homes on his list. I don't know which one he asked me the questions on, but I'm just going to pick one. Hopefully it's this one. And so this is what you see behind every one of your contacts. You see their name. If you have this little pencil, you can change his email address. You can delete him. Here's his, look at his Homebot report. I can see the whole report if I click here. I can send him one manually. So as I mentioned, we send it out automatically for you, but it might take a few days. So if you want one to go out the door sooner than another, just go ahead and send him one manually right here. Here's his value of his home. Had he modified it, I would have a whole big section here saying that he modified his value. This is the day he did it. He wants you to do a CMA. Now, if I just look at this myself and I say, I don't want Phil to get this report if it's 381, I'm going to change it real quick. So I'm going to change it to 400 because I really think that's what his home is worth, and then put in a range. So you can override it right here. Here's his value. Here's his information about his home. Here's the next time he gets an automated report. Here's his email address, and here's his phone number. And if you didn't enter that spouse when you first entered the client, you can always add the spouse right here at any time. And then, of course, here's all that detailed information. So down here, if you go way down here, looks like we emailed him. Goodness, he's done a lot of work. So if you go down to where it says a new loan was added. So he viewed the digest a couple times, and then you can see we emailed him. They're right here. Then he opened it up and he viewed it, and we emailed him again. He opened it up, he clicked on it, he viewed it. So you can see every step of the way, and you will see, where people say he's tuned his value here. Here's the questions he sent me. So I got a text and an email with these questions, and you'll see where it says AVM went up. So our system's always looking for those changes in the market. So if in this zip code everything went up 10%, I'm going to change everybody's home by 10%. So we're always keeping up with what's going on in the market. I'm going to stop and see if there's a question. Is there a way to input all your clients and be able to review it a few days later before that initial was sent out? Yes. So that is a great question, Janie. So one of the questions, well, one of the things you can do, when I showed you that, area where you can modify the welcome letter, everything was pink, and I can go back to that area too, just to show you. You can turn all those off, because if you were to add a client today, they'd automatically, immediately get that welcome email and the Homebot report, most likely. Now, it might take a couple days, but you don't want to chance it. So you can turn those all off, then upload your clients, check out every one of the home values, and if you're happy with them, turn them back on. Then our system will start picking them up, automatically sending them out. So a lot of people do want to look at their values before they're emailed out. Perfectly fine. Just remember to turn it back on. Some people call us and they say, nothing's getting emailed out. And we say, because you turned them off. So that's a good question. And that's a great way to do that. Now, what if you looked at one of your homeowners and they've never opened up their Homebot report? Well, it could be they've unsubscribed, or maybe you've got the wrong email out here. So there is a bucket over here called issues. And if you click on issues, it's gathering all the information. So you can see all the issues, or maybe you just want to see the email issues. Here's 4 invalid emails. So I need to correct those. Maybe they truly unsubscribed, and I don't delete anything. So you'll see we've got plenty of unsubscribes here. So you can delete them all at one time, or you can delete them one at a time, however you want to do that. And then this one's less active. This one's important because you want to see who's opening it up every month. Down here, Scotty hasn't opened up the last 7. So our system changed him to once a quarter. Up here, Daniel hasn't opened up in a very long time. So I no longer send the report. Our system does that automatically. So you might want to call Daniel and say, do you not ever want to see your report? Okay, fine, I'll take you off. And you can delete him one at a time or all of them at once, just like before.
So the people that aren't responding, are they still being counted as part of your database until you physically delete them?
Great question. Absolutely. And that's why I was going to tell you, it's really good to manage your clients. Check out these wrong emails and those unsubscribes. You want to clean them up because they will take part of your 500. Absolutely. Okay, good. All righty. So that's how you manage your clients. That's how you add clients. And now I want you to share your landing page, because you do get a landing page. So right here, it's very easy to copy your landing page just like that. Open up Facebook and paste it or post it. Open up Instagram. Maybe open up your signature line and add this to your signature line. Maybe take it to your open houses, put it on a tablet and let people sign up their own home on your iPad. So there's lots of ways to get new leads. Just take your landing page and put it everywhere. On Facebook, we actually make it easy for you. You just click one of these call to actions and we'll start the Facebook post for you. You just finish it up and hit post. And this is what your landing page will look like. It'll say, hi, I'm Katie. Please enjoy your free Homebot report. This tells them what Homebot will do for them. And then, of course, it's branded to you at the bottom. But what I like about Homebot, one of the amazing things about it is that it is nationwide. So when you send this to your parents on the West Coast, on the East Coast, they can put it in just like anybody around your area. So right here, this is in Texas. So if I was to click here, this is my address. It's not my address, but this was, if this was my address, I'd see what my home is worth, but I also see what the trend is, but everything else is locked. But I know, wow, you have all this data about my home. If I want to see the rest of the report, I've got to give you my email address and my name. So when people refer people to you, they put your landing page out there, which is what I just showed you. People go into that link, put in their home, and this is when you get new people to sign up under your account. If they just look at their home value, you won't get that information from that person because they haven't gone further and given you that email and name. Right? But most people actually want to see the rest of the report. And then we do have a widget. So the exact way that landing page works is exactly the same way this widget works. But you can put this on your website. It says, what's your home worth? And they just put in their address just like the landing page does. We give you a default and a compact version, a lighter and a darker mode. So, we try to match your website as much as possible. And we have this embed code. All I have to do is copy this embed code and it goes out the door. I mean, you give it to your webmaster and it'll be added to your website. So that's how you, get your folks added. That's how you get the widget on your website, how you get more clients, how you update your photo, and the welcome email. Now, I know we were talking about the buyer side, so I'll just show you this really quickly. If you do add a lender, the lender does pay quite a bit more than you. So you're only $22.50, but your lender has to pay quite a bit more, and then they have a per agent co-sponsor fee they have to pay. So, it really, but they can actually co-sponsor with your entire office. So, the lender that's on this call, I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
Hi, it's Sherry.
Terry?
Sorry, Sherry.
Sherry, okay. So yeah, you could co-sponsor with every one of the agents on this call, and you would just have to pay, of course, that the fee to use the system and then a per agent fee. But when you do that, all of every one of these agents' clients can set themselves up as a buyer. And right here, I'll show you my list of buyers. So I did not set anybody up as a buyer. They've all set themselves up. So when they went through their own Homebot report, they actually clicked one of those areas that created their buyer profile. So for instance, Bob Burmeister here, he set his price point. He said when he was going to move, and then here's his zip codes he's interested in. Just like the Homebot report, we see all this information, what he's done. He's opened up the report so many times. He's added favorite markets. And then when he goes to look at his report, because we send him a monthly report, just like the Homebot report. So he sees this information. He sees his price point, but he can modify it. We see the areas he's interested in buying, and we tell him if it's a buyer's market or a seller's market. And you can see this number here is just the percent. So it's 100% a seller's market here. 65% kind of right in the middle. You just see the market temperature up here. And the buying timeline, you can see this, 70 days, 138 days. You'll see all this information. Then I'll show you what happens when you hit view. Let me just finish the report. So you find more areas you want to look at. And this is just telling you how long will it take to buy in each one of these areas. You can click on the areas and it'll tell you more information. And then of course here, it's a pretty fun one. What price point can you afford at current interest rates? So you can change your price point, but you can see here, right now, a 3% interest rate, you can get a $700,000 home. But last month, 3.25, you only could afford $682. So it just tells them, hey, I want to lock in my price point. And then here, Airbnb information, and of course, you've got your information again at the bottom. So it's just a great system. And then here, I thought this was cool. So if you want to look at this area, you hit view, and you see all this great information about Bellevue they might be interested in, and it's going to populate here in just a moment. But then you're giving all this information to them. There's about 4 homes selling about your price point. And when you continue, can I afford more? When they click here, maybe they want to, I don't know, what we're going to show them. Well, it's not what I wanted to show you. So hang on. I think there's a question too. But right here, we actually start bringing up all this other information. So here's popular markets. We're showing all the different areas around their particular area. Maybe they want a bigger home. Let me move my Zoom area. There's cheaper buys, faster moves. So we're letting them know in the area what pertains to them. And they can choose another area they might be interested in. Maybe it's Harbor Point up here. So we just definitely continue to show information that might pertain to them, they might be interested in. Let me look at the questions. Okay, so the question I do see, how do you find participating lenders? And, I can help you find lenders that are already paying for Homebot, but if Sherry's on the call and if it looks like she's looking at signing up. So Sherry, you can actually give me a call afterwards and I can talk to you about how much that would cost you as a lender to sign up.
Okay, perfect.
It does cost quite a bit more. In fact, I'm just going to put in my information here.
Okay.
Whoops, that's okay. I just gave you my personal number. I wasn't even thinking. Anyway, there's my email and my phone number if you wanted to give me a call.
Okay.
I could put in my work number. There's my work number. Sorry about that.
Okay.
I just got in the mode of my personal number. But anyway, if anybody is interested in signing up, you know, I can definitely work with you. I've got a link. If you want to take advantage of the discounted rate, then there's a special link. You need to sign up with a promotion code to get that promotion code. And Vicki, I don't know if you're still on the call, but I can send you that information if you want to forward out to everybody as well.
Yes, thank you. I would appreciate that.
Okay. But I think that is it. That's what I wanted to share with you. If you guys are interested, you know, just let me know. I'd love to get you set up, and I can, you know, definitely walk through the system again, you know, with you. If you just joined and you didn't hear the whole demo, that's fine. Or maybe I talked too fast and I need to go through it again. I'm more than happy to do that for you. But I think that's all I've got. Unless there's any more questions.
For the people who joined a little bit later, would you mind just going over the pricing again really quickly for them?
Sure. The pricing is $22.50 a month. You get the discount because you're introduced by Becca. So you've got the $22.50 a month, and you get to add 500 clients. And I mean, there's no contract to sign. There's no lender required, but you can add one if you want to. There's no additional cost to you to add a lender. But yeah, we waive the sign-up fee. So if you were to sign up with Homebot directly, you'd have to pay a sign-up fee and have a lender. But with Black Knight, with us, you don't need to have a lender. There's $22.50 a month for 500 contacts, and we just add $10 for every 500 you want to add to your sphere. But you know, it's very inexpensive, and like this, there's no contract, so you can use it a couple months at $22.50. And if you don't like it, just let me know. We'll cancel your account. But most people do definitely see a you know, they see some activity and they really like the system.
So Debbie, if anybody
So-
wanted the link, I could, they're asking right now if you would give the promotional link, or do you want me to send that to them?
Yeah, I have to get it. It's a, let me stop my sharing so I can find it in my email and send it over to you. But if there's any other questions, I'd love to help you answer those as well. Come on. How do I get to my email? Yeah, I can send over the link as soon as I get it here.
Another question,
Okay, here,
another question came in. Can we sign up as a team?
yes, you can. Absolutely. You can sign up as a team. Just know that we have just one, let me go here. We just have one email address and one phone number that we can put on the account. So hopefully you've got a team. Is my name in the notes. Yeah, just make sure you put in, you know, just one email address, one phone number, and it'll work just fine. I just went ahead and put in, use my name / Becca. You can do that. That way I can tie it into the Zoom. Okay, there we go. So there's a link I just put out there, and use the promotion code fireworks. And if you'll just put mine and Becca's name in the notes field, that's where, you know, I know that I can help you get started. I can, I'll know that it came from the Zoom call. But I'd love to get you started whenever you're interested, and I can walk you through the system and upload your clients for you so you start seeing amazing results right away.
I have a quick question. What is Black Knight? I only know it as a termite company, so.
Oh, yeah, Black Knight is a very large organization. We're like billions of dollars, and we're mainly in the financial industry, but we work with a lot of mortgage companies, insurance companies. We've got a real estate division, and that's the company I work for. So it's a data analytic company. And a lot of big companies use our data for, you know, to get their information about homes.
A lot of our title resources like Fidelity Passport and programs like that use Black Knight data as well, Vicki. So yeah, it's our data source.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And we also run the Paragon MLS system. So I don't know what MLS you guys use, but we run all the Paragon MLS systems across the country.
Yeah, we do. We have Matrix, but Paragon, I've heard of them, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Can I ask a
Mhm.
quick question, please?
Sure.
I'm sorry, Eva, if I'm trying to explain this to somebody that's not on today, is there like a website or something that I can direct them to that will basically explain everything?
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. When I send to Vicky, the email about this, sign up link as well, I'll send a couple of links to some descriptions. Like one's just an overview of Homebot, one says here's the value to a homeowner, and one says here's the value to a real estate agent. So I'll forward that to Vicky and she can forward it out to you guys as well.
You know, Deb,
Okay,
here's the thing though, we've got like 4 other offices, brokerages on this call right now. We collaborate each Wednesday. So it's just not my
Okay.
banker, it's there. And I think Dawn may be with, are you with, which Coldwell Banker are you with, Dawn?
with Ian
Okay.
Coldwell, so, I'm sorry, I'm brand new, still
That's okay.
learning.
Coldwell Banker Coastal Alliance.
Yeah. Thanks, Chuck. So maybe what I'll do is I'll send it out to the other, my other partners that are team actually, which would be Lance Martin and Nicole Tootle. I think Chuck, you're part of that team too. So sorry, I'm still in my Carlsbad gear, but I'll get that out to you guys so you can then disseminate it to your agents. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Maybe Chuck,
'cause
you
it's
could
a
send it to me.
Yes, and yeah, I can, Dawn, I was just gonna write down your name, Dawn Ship. I'll find your email address unless you want to put it
Thank
there.
you
but-
very much.
And it does work really well for people just starting out, because what you can do is take your landing page and put it on a direct mail card or put it on anything to get people to sign up their home. And you can also work with Becca. She can probably get you a list of people that you want to hit. She can get you email addresses that you want to send this to, and so people can sign up for their own Homebot report under your name.
To be very honest, I'm really curious about this for my own property. So, I mean,
So then,
I'm really
okay, so
like,
when I send my information out to Vicky, I will have my landing page out there, and you're more than welcome to put in your home so you can see what your home's value is.
okay, thank you.
I'll put that in the email as well, Vicky.
Great.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I love the interaction. I really love talking about Homebot, and I think it's just a great, great tool. So I hope to see you guys in the system, and I'll walk you through the system myself.
I think, Debbie, too, what I'd like to do is have you come up maybe back in September, if you wouldn't mind, and do it, because so for some of a refresher for some who are on the fence and then some that weren't here right now, maybe we'll have you back. In the meantime, I really thank you, Becca, for the connection. Appreciate that. And this is a great tool, great resource for us. And I'll be signing up. So I look forward to getting your email with all the information, which I'll get to the other brokers.
Sounds great. And I'm answering one person's question right now. I just want to know that I can share. Yeah, I just want to answer Sherry's question real quick. I'm sending her an answer. So anyway, thank you so much.
Thank
I'd
you.
love to come back.
Thank you. We'll have you again.
right.
Appreciate it. Have a great
Thank
day.
Thank you. You
Bye-bye.
too.
Bye,
Happy
everyone.
birthday.
Have a great week.
Bye, guys.